Most people think their first $1,000 is the beginning of wealth, but it's the moment where almost everyone gets trapped.
The system doesn't fear your effort. It fears your awareness. And nothing exposes that faster than what happens the moment you save your first $1,000.
In this video, I'm going to show you why your first $1,000 doesn't move you forward, and how the system designed that step to keep you stuck. You're about to see the fatal flaw inside Start Small, the $1,000 trap the middle class walks into, and the cash flow blueprint the wealthy use instead. If you stay until the end, you'll understand exactly how to turn your first $1,000 from a dead end into the engine that builds everything else. Let's open the file. If this already cracked the blueprint they handed you, subscribe to Digital Dollar Wallet and step deeper into the archive. Most people look away. You didn't.
You're inside Digital Dollar Wallet, the financial interrogation room, where the system finally speaks. Don't leave this file yet.
If you walk out now, you'll hear the lesson, but miss the architecture. And architecture is what protects you.
I remember the first time I saved $1,000. It felt like momentum, like power, like I had finally stepped onto the path of wealth.
But that feeling was a trap engineered with precision by the system.
I didn't waste that money. I didn't blow it on gadgets or ego. I saved it, protected it, held it as if it were the seed of an empire.
But nothing happened. My life didn't change. My stress stayed the same. My position within the system didn't move an inch. I waited for the breakthrough everyone said would come after saving your first $1,000. It never came.
Because saving $1,000 isn't progress. It's a test, a silent hallway where most people remain stuck, believing they're moving forward.
Years later, when I finally understood cash flow, I realized something brutal. I didn't use my first $1,000 incorrectly. I used it too late.
I was climbing the first step of a fortress whose entrance was somewhere else entirely. And that's the trap almost everyone falls into. Your first $1,000 isn't the beginning of wealth. It's the test that decides if you'll ever reach it.
Here's the truth. Your first $1,000 doesn't pull you out of the system because it doesn't change your internal architecture. It doesn't alter your cash flow, your dependence on wages, your structural stability, your financial psychology. It gives you a feeling of progress, not actual progress. The system loves when you save $1,000 because it knows something you don't. Still money can't save you. Only moving money can. A still $1,000 is just a brick, but wealth is a fortress, and a fortress requires structure, not isolated pieces. And structure begins with cash flow. Pillar 1. Cash flow. Cash flow isn't income, it's stability, breathing room, predictability. The first reinforcement beam in your financial fortress.
The system ties your survival to a paycheck because a paycheck is a leash, a silent form of captivity. Every month, you wait for permission to keep living.
The wealthy don't depend on wages. They build systems that pay them. Rental income, dividends, royalties, automated operations. Systems that breathe even when they don't. Cash flow is the first moment the system loses control over you. Your first $1,000 means nothing unless it's tied to a mechanism that multiplies it while you sleep.
Here's the loop. Save $1,000. Feel proud. Protect it. Freeze. Repeat for years. No movement, no growth, no architecture.
Your $1,000 becomes a museum piece, something you admire but never use, and that's exactly what the system wants. Because the moment you use that money strategically, you stop being a consumer and start becoming a builder.
The system tolerates your savings. What it fears is your cash flow.
The wealthy don't ask, how do I protect this money? They ask, how do I make this money move?
Movement is power. Movement is structure. Movement is the beginning of escape.
Your first $1,000 is not a reward. It's a lever, a small gear that, when connected to a system, creates momentum. And momentum is the beginning of freedom.
This is where your first $1,000 stops being a number and becomes architecture. Step 1. Turn your $1,000 into motion, not storage.
Still money decays. Moving money builds. Use part of those $1,000 to create a microstream, a tool that produces income, a small automated service, a digital mini operation, a product that sells on its own. Your goal is not profit. Your goal is rhythm. If you understand this step, the second one might change your destiny.
Step 2. Rebuild your $1,000 again and again. This is where the wealthy separate from everyone else. They don't seek big wins. They seek repetition.
If you can rebuild $1,000 with cash flow, you can rebuild $10,000. And if you can rebuild $10,000, you can rebuild $100,000.
This is where independence begins. This is where the salary leash weakens.
Don't leave yet. The third step is the one the system never reveals.
Step 3. Use cash flow to buy time and then power. Cash flow is not the final prize. It is the oxygen that keeps you alive while you climb.
Your cash flow must buy your peace, your time, your stability, your focus, and your ability to build equity.
Without time, there is no strategy. And without strategy, there is no wealth. Cash flow buys time. Time buys strategy. Strategy buys equity.
And equity is where almost everyone collapses.
Stay with me. In seconds, you'll see how this step connects directly to your first $100,000 and the precise point where most people fall.
If this already shifted the way you see your first $1,000, subscribe now. Here, we don't follow the system's script, we dismantle it.
The fatal mistake is trying to build equity before stabilizing cash flow. It's constructing the second floor before pouring the foundation, and collapse becomes inevitable. Cash flow is breath. Cash flow is stability. Cash flow is the first reinforcement beneath every future floor of wealth. Only when you can breathe can you build.
Cash flow breaks the leash. Equity breaks the system. Remember that. Now you understand how to turn your first $1,000 into movement, rhythm, structure, into the engine that supports everything else.
But the next step is where almost everyone falls. Your first $100,000 contains a fatal flaw, a structural weakness that collapses thousands of lives.
In the next video, titled Why Wealth Has Only 3 Pillars and You Were Never Supposed to Learn This, we open the file on equity and expose the exact point where the fall begins.
Tell me in the comments, what did you do with your first $1,000? And what would you do differently now? Your answer becomes the next case.
This case file closes here, but the architecture continues. If you want access to the next blueprint, subscribe to Digital Dollar Wallet and walk deeper into the structure. I'll meet you in the vault.